OK, alors il y a quelqu'un qui est inconscient par terre, qui a eu une balle de caoutchouc dans le visage. Nous allons aller voir ça. Nous sommes en direct à Victoriaville où un manifestant a été blessé ici, au visage. Il est inconscient. Nous allons... Nous sommes en direct à CUTV Montréal.ca où les médics sont ici. Nous sommes en direct à CUTV Montréal.ca. Les gens doivent voir ce qui se passe. Les gens doivent voir ce qui se passe. Il y a quelqu'un qui a été... Dites-moi ce qui est arrivé.
Tu penses qu'il arrive quoi ici? Parce que c'est des actes.
On se calme. Nous sommes... On va aller la chercher l'ambulance, nous autres. Il y a quelqu'un de blessé ici. Ils veulent pas laisser passer l'ambulance. Il y a quelqu'un de sérieusement blessé ici. Les autorités ne veulent pas laisser passer l'ambulance. Il y a quelqu'un qui est sérieusement blessé. On a besoin d'une ambulance ici. Nous sommes en direct du Congrès du Parti libéral du Québec où un manifestant est sérieusement blessé et la police et les sécurités, les forces de l'ordre, comme on dit, ne laissent pas passer l'ambulance. Nous sommes en direct au Palais des Congrès.
Can you get an ambulance from there or not? Yes, can you get an ambulance? Tell the ambulance to come now. You called them? You called an ambulance? I'm not gonna call an ambulance. You're the cops right here. I'm a media. I'm asking you, there's a guy, I swear to you, he's dying right there. Call 911, there's a guy dying right now. You got him in the head, he's dying right there. Get an ambulance. Please get an ambulance, man. Get an ambulance in here. Can you get it? Can we get an ambulance in here? There's a guy dying. Please get an ambulance inside here. Do you have medics with you? There's medics with you that are here to treat you, right? Is there medics here to treat anybody?
There's somebody hurt.
There's somebody that's dying.
Bad.
He's dying right there.
They're
I need
bad.
an ambulance and medics right now. Right now, medics. Medics right now. Do something that is actually... Listen, there's a guy dying. Get the medics.
Call 911.
You...
Get it here.
And then how do you get it?
you would let... Okay.
Listen, don't touch my camera. Don't touch my camera, okay?
It's okay. I'm gonna take it back. It's okay.
Listen, get the fucker here. Get him. Get him.
He's here. He's going there. That's why he's going. He's going to... You see the phone? But the mic, you're out of frame. You can't see.
I have opened this microphone right here now.
aller chercher. On va aller chercher.
Nous sommes en direct.
Je pense que c'est maintenant qu'on va faire mon don à CUTV.
Ouais. Alors, on est en direct.
Yeah, for sure. So we're live here at the protest across the street from the Centre des Congrès de Victoriaville. The protest is still ongoing. The police are throwing more tear gas at the crowd. There's been one injury. They've sent in an ambulance, or at least one injury. We don't know about any others. But an ambulance is here. There's somebody who was hit with a rubber bullet on the neck, hit with a rubber bullet on the neck, who's lying on the ground, eyes open but unconscious. Police have arrived on the side, further back from the crowd. I would assume to get to the injured person. There's medics, looks like street medics, who are still tending to the protester who is still down on the ground. Police are now charging across the street. Police are now charging across the street from the Centre des Congrès. Just trying to find our cameraman. The police are moving in closer and closer across the street. People are yelling that there's somebody injured here. There's somebody injured. They're forming a human chain of line. There's more gas coming. The police are charging into the field where protesters have moved to. There's somebody injured on the ground. There's tear gas very close to where that person is on the ground. People are trying to form a line to protect the person who's been injured. There's more police coming around the other side. Tear gas still coming more and more. People are trying to protect the person who's down on the ground. We're backing up with the protesters behind where the person who's injured is on the ground. We're not sure of his condition as the crowd runs further and further back from the police. We don't know if this is a tactic of theirs to try to clear space around the injured person or what they're trying to do. There were clearly warnings that somebody was injured and unconscious, and they've cleared the field and continue to throw tear gas. An ambulance has arrived, and they're forming a line, blocking people from the area where the injured person was lying. The injured person is no longer there. Probably taken away by some of his or her companions, but we're not sure. And we're not sure how that person will now get to an ambulance now that it's surrounded by tear gas and riot police. It's unclear how they're supposed to help somebody who's on the ground injured. We're just going to go over and try to find our cameraman. You're watching live here on CUTV. Protests outside the Liberal convention here. I'm just going to pass the microphone over to Sweden Freezing here.
I just wanted to say that there's these rubber bullets. This is what apparently the demonstrator was shot with in the neck. These rubber bullets, there was a study made, they're called sublethal, okay? And there was a study made in Ireland, north of Ireland basically, where 90 people exposed to this stuff, 41 out of them were severely injured and needed hospitalization. So this is like every second rubber bullet that's shot can injure someone seriously, and this is what happened here today. We tried to show those images. We tried to show you how the medics, the Nurses Federation was trying to treat the injured person while the police was blocking the way for the ambulance to access and help that person that was here demonstrating and exercising their democratic rights to protest. Police have now moved into private property in front of the hotel and are forming a line on someone's house that has nothing to do with Alors, nous sommes en direct où l'anti-émeute continue de faire une ligne. On ne sait pas pour quelle raison maintenant. Le périmètre est très loin, en fait, maintenant, de l'hôtel où Charest devait tenir son discours. À cette heure-ci, on n'a pas l'information s'il a tenu son discours déjà ou non. Mais nous sommes maintenant sur un terrain privé et les policiers poussent un manifestant ici, nous disent de nous déplacer. Malgré le fait que nous sommes sur un terrain privé, nous sommes en direct, en ligne, à CUTVmontréal.ca. Nous vous montrons les images du chaos, de la crise qui se produit actuellement au Québec, causée par les politiques du gouvernement Charest. Someone's asking us to leave the property. C'est correct, on t'entend, ça va, merci. Alors, monsieur ici nous a demandé de nous déplacer. C'est la police qui nous déplace comme ça. On n'a pas beaucoup de choix avec leur gaz lacrymogène. On est sur un terrain privé, en fait. Ici, on a directement le gaz lacrymogène dans le visage. Alors, on voit très bien que le périmètre est très, très loin maintenant de l'endroit où il y avait le congrès, à plusieurs mètres. Il n'y a aucun danger maintenant pour les gens même à l'intérieur. La police continue avec son intervention musclée ce soir à Victoriaville. Est-ce que tu es médic? Est-ce que tu veux nous dire un peu ce qui est arrivé?
Non, je n'étais pas là quand c'est arrivé. Là. Je suis arrivée par après. Demande à Jean-Pierre.
Okay. On va trouver quelqu'un qui va pouvoir nous expliquer ce qui est arrivé. L'ambulance, alors on voit l'ambulance qui se déplace maintenant. Ça fait environ au moins 15 minutes que ça s'est produit. Et l'ambulance est dépêchée maintenant et s'occupe de la personne qui a été sérieusement blessée aujourd'hui, inconsciente. On sait que les médics, les infirmières ici, la Fédération interprofessionnelle en santé étaient présentes à la manifestation. Ils et elles ont dit qu'ils allaient s'occuper de ça pour les manifestants et manifestantes, de la sécurité. Et c'est ce qu'ils font aujourd'hui. On les voit à l'œuvre. C'est une situation très, très chaotique aujourd'hui. Nous sommes en direct de Victoriaville. So we're live here from Victoriaville. A demonstrator was seriously injured in the neck by a rubber bullet. The medics, the nurses who were present at the demonstration, who took on the role of medics to protect the protesters and ensure their safety, are out in force and helping. And person is seriously injured, unconscious, here today by having been hit by a rubber bullet. Rubber bullets are called sublethal weapons, but they are very, very dangerous nonetheless.
it's interesting that they don't use the word non-lethal, because obviously it can cause serious injuries, as you're saying, and as we're seeing right now. It's a matter of semantics, this idea of sublethal. People were clearly moving away, and it's not very clear why rubber bullets had to be used against protesters.
I see you have something.
Oh, somebody poured Maalox in my eyes to help with the tear gas, so just a remedy for the tear gas that's cleared the protest out from the field, now across the street from the Congress Center. So not even allowed to stay across the street from the Congress Center, and the police pushing people as far away as they possibly can, sending out copious amounts of tear gas, even though it was clearly announced that somebody was injured and they were trying to get an ambulance to come for help. Instead, the riot police moved in and moved the crowd even further away.
We are live from Victoriaville.
Just something to encourage all our viewers to, if you are on a computer, if you can go on Facebook, go on Twitter, share the link so people can watch this live as well. Share the link, CUTVmontreal.ca/live. We need as many people viewing this as possible, people to understand what happens at these protests, people to understand the anger that's going on towards the Liberal government, and to get a frontline view of what's happening. And also, of course, just to say that none of this comes free. We've been out here on the front lines of the protests to make sure that people get a first-hand view of what's happening throughout these protests against the tuition fee increases. If you go to CUTVmontreal.ca, you can donate and help us continue this work, help keep our camera people out in the streets, out keeping an eye on what the police are doing, bringing you the stories and the information that you need to know about the ongoing student protests and against all the social movements that are gathering and growing against the policies of the Charest government. So again, if you can go on Facebook, on Twitter, and share with your friends, CUTVmontreal.ca. And I think we have a bit of an update right now with one of the medics here from the demonstration. Bonjour.
Salut.
Alors, est-ce que vous pouvez nous expliquer ce qui vient d'arriver?
Ben, en fait, il y a un blessé qui a été déclaré depuis très longtemps aux policiers. On a fait venir une ambulance. Les policiers, malgré l'information qu'il y avait un blessé en perte de conscience, en détresse respiratoire importante, ont continué à lancer des gaz dans notre direction. Je crois que leur stratégie, c'était d'utiliser le fait qu'il y avait un trou pour laisser passer une ambulance puis venir tasser le monde. C'est exactement ce qu'ils ont fait. Ils se contre-calissaient, excusez-moi le terme. Je suis assez fâché du fait qu'il y avait un blessé. Ils ont utilisé le fait qu'il y avait un blessé pour déplacer tout le monde.
Et avez-vous une idée de c'est quoi la sévérité ou la nature des blessures?
Là, on a peut-être une fracture ou une entorse. On a ici, qui part en ambulance, une détresse respiratoire importante, aiguë, avec un traumatisme. Mais je ne pourrais pas dire. C'est un cas d'urgence.
D'accord, merci beaucoup. So, as was just explained by one of the street medics here, who I believe is a nurse, right? He's a trained nurse who's out here providing security and medic support for protesters, saying that there was somebody injured, that message was repeated to police extensively, that they protesters called an ambulance, cleared a space for an ambulance, and then the riot police moved in. According to this medic, his only assumption is that the police saw that protesters had made a gap for an ambulance and took advantage to move further into the crowd rather than helping the injured person. They then proceeded to use tear gas to push the crowd even further back. But finally, as you saw a few moments ago, an ambulance did arrive to pick up the injured person. And as he was saying, the injuries, it's not clear the severity, but there's at least a sprain, perhaps a fracture, and one person who was hit by a rubber bullet. Then as well, someone else being taken away with severe respiratory problems. So at least two injured people being taken away by ambulance right now from these